Hello, and this is Mr. Hubert speaking, as like it would be anybody else since it's my class and my videos. Alright, so here's the deal. This is a monomial. I'll probably say it 6 different ways during the video, just because I can't speak. Whatever happens, happens. Alright, so we got to be able to multiply. What we're talking about is a monomial is a number, a variable, or a product of number and one or more variable. Monomials that are all real numbers are called constants. So this is just a little fact chart for you. Here's the deal. Mon is 1. So what we're looking at is now we're going to have one term. Okay? We just did polynomials, and they were many. Many equals poly. So now we're talking about 1, and we're only going to have one term. Okay, so we're not adding or subtracting anymore. This is multiplying and dividing. And we'll do dividing next time. This is actually just multiplying. So here's our rules for exponents. Okay, so the product of powers. So when the rule is we add the exponents. Here's an example for you. Boom. Alright, so remember here, because nothing's written, this is still multiplying. Alright, so product, multiply. Okay, that should help you out. And then you're adding. And here's what happens. You add the exponents. So 6 plus 3, a is now to the 9th power. Or the exponent equals 9, it's the 9th degree. Here's what happened. The base stayed. Alright? The base stayed the same. Okay, so when you're multiplying exponents, the base stays the same, it's just a, and then you add the powers. I promise you remember that. It's going to be a lot easier for you to get through math. Power of a power. Okay, what that means is whenever there's a power of the power, there's always going to be parentheses. And you're going to have one power here and one power on the outside. Okay, that's when you're going to multiply the exponents. This is what it looks like. So we have this number inside. So what you do is it's kind of distributing here. 6 squared is 36, so we still have to do that, but then a. And now what we're doing is 6 times 2, which is 12. So you're multiplying. 6 times 2 is 12. Make sure you have these neat enough so you can look back and not have to rewatch the video. Alright, 0 power. This is everybody's favorite. If there's one rule to memorize, it's this one. Otherwise, these 3 are pretty easy rules. Equals 1. For example, 10,000, a to the 3rd, but then it's to the 0 power, it's 1. You could have 9, 8, 7, x, y cubed, and then it's 0, it just equals 1. Okay, so both of those equals 1. It doesn't matter what you have. They could be big, ugly things. So here's what we're looking at. Properties of simplified monomials. 1. Each base appears exactly one time. Good point. So like this a here, this base is written one time. This a is written one time. Okay? You only have the base written once. It's a good rule. I like that. There are no powers of powers. Okay, that's one of our rules where you got to multiply. And then that's all fractions are in simplest form. You got to reduce those. Okay, here's number 1. All I'm looking for is the only thing I see here is this base is written twice. So one of our rules was we can't do that. That 4 is not to any power, so I'll just leave it the same. This is like a 1 here. If they don't write it, it's a 1. So 1 plus 2 is 3, so I'd have x cubed and y by itself. How much addition and subtraction do I have there? I don't have any. So I'm done. Here's one. Do I have a power to a power? Do I have anything outside of the parentheses? No. So this is just going to be addition here. So first I probably would do 3 times 2 is 6. Now I'm looking at the x. I got a 2 and a 4. So 2 plus 4 is 6. And then here for the y, I have a 1 and an 8. 1 plus 8 would be y to the 9th. I'm a rock star. Okay. This is it. 1. This is all you need to do. Look for this outside. Normally, we would multiply that if it was any other number besides 0, but it would be 1. Here, look at number 4. This is the same thing. I look for this 0 all the time. So this 0, that makes that 1. So really what I have is 6x cubed y times 1. Okay? I'm just going to erase that. That's your final answer. Okay? I only have the x written once. I have the y written once. And I'm done. Flip it over. This might be the other second fastest notes, or I'm just getting better at this. Alright, I'm probably skipping a lot. So this one we're going to write. Okay? So here's how this works. Make sure you do this to every single one. So 4 squared is 16. X to the first power, 1 times 2 is x squared. Y squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. So I have to do something to each one. Here's also, remember this, x cubed is also equal to x times x times x. If you don't like how I got this answer in red, this is what you could do. 4xy squared. How many times do I have that? Well, I have that twice. So if you want to, you can rewrite it this way. So I'm multiplying it together 2 times. 4 times 4 is 16. X and x, I add those together. 1 plus 1 is 2. And then I'd have y squared plus a y squared. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay. You have to determine right now which one's easier. The one is red is me scribbling in chicken scratch. Alright? If you come over and you ask questions, I'm probably going to show you the one in black, just to make sure. Or you just can write kind of like this, how we do the distribute, and just make sure that we multiply by 2. So here's this way. Alright? I'd have 2 to the 4th. The other thing you could do is write it like this. What's x? Well, 1 times 4 is to the 4th. Y is to the 4th. If I knew what was going on with my board right now, that'd be nice. Okay, 2 to the 4th. 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8, times another 2 is 16. So I just have 16x to the 4th, y to the 4th. If you can do that, great. If not, you could write it out. 2xy, 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 2xy. Now, there's no other powers, and all these are 1s. So I only want to write the base ones. So 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, we figured out is 16. Now x, I have 1 plus 1 is 2, plus another 1 is 3, plus another 1 is 4. And then I just want to write y once, so I have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 4 also. No matter how you do this, for this top way, you can think of all these as to the first power. So that's why I just did 4 times 1, 4 times 1, 4 times 4. And I got all these 4s because it's just 4 to the 1 power. Blah, blah, blah. Just raised to the 1 power. Alright, there's only 6 problems left. These 2 are pretty easy. I don't see any power outside here. So I just have 5. And then it's x to the 7th plus x to the times multiplied by x to the 6th. So I add the powers. 7 plus 6 is 13. Over here, I know I want a and b. Okay? 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. And then I have a. So what's up here? A is 1, and a to the 2 is 3. B to the 6 plus b to the 3rd. See, I say plus b to the 3rd. It's not adding. It's 6 plus 3 is 9, so b to the 9th. Okay. These look 7 and 8 are a lot easier for you than 5 and 6. Then we need some practice or you need to be good at writing things out. So number 9, these look really complicated. This guy's screaming in the middle. If anybody needs to know, I got this from a self-portrait from a student. Now, here's what we got. I would leave this one alone. This one underlined in blue, just leave that alone for now. Okay? There's nothing goofy going on here. This other one, though, you have a couple different options. What I would do personally is multiply right here. 3 times 2. So I could have negative 2y to the 6. So then I could leave it again, and I could do one of two things. I could figure out that I need to rewrite this 6 times. I don't like to make mistakes, so we're rewriting it. So 3xy to the 4th. So negative 2 and negative 2 is 4. Negative 2 and negative 2 is 4. And negative 2 and negative 2 is 4. How many negatives do you see left? None. So 4 times 4 is 16, times 4 is 64. So this is 64y, and 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 6 times. 3 times 64 is 192. I only see one x, so I'll just keep it, and that'd be y to the 10th. Look at that. Or, if you want the shortcut, which everybody does, but if you get it wrong, you get it wrong, and I'm just going to have to teach you how to do it the other way. Negative 2 to the 6th power. If 6 is an even number, that means I'm multiplying by an even number of negative signs. So a negative and a negative make a positive. That's why they canceled out when I wrote 4 times 4 times 4. So 2 negatives equals a positive, so I'm going to have 3 positive numbers. In other words, we know that 2 to the 6th, if you use a calculator, or negative 2 in parentheses, if I were you guys, I'd be writing it in my calculator, then that caret key, like that. So you know to get a positive. You're going to get a positive 64 because we've already done this problem. Then it would just be y, and y is to the 1st power, and 1 times 6 is 6. And then you'd still get this answer. I've done all of these like 3 times, so I know what I'm going to get. Let's try this one again. So I'm going to have 1/2 a squared b squared cubed. Now what do we have here? I have negative 4b. 2 times 2 is 4. So let's work with these a little bit. 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. If you look at that, that equals 1 times 2 to the 3rd and 1 to the 3rd. Or in other words, you're taking it to the 3rd power. It's just 1 over 8. Okay? You don't really need to know that. What I would know is that I have 1 cubed over 2 cubed. A. 2 times 3 is 6. 2 times 3 is 6. Now this other one, negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 16. So if I have negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4, you could put that all in your calculator. You could put negative 4 caret key to the 4 in your calculator. Whatever it takes. You could put 16 times 16 in your calculator. That's what I would do. I would definitely have a calculator. This is 256, and this is b to the 4th, because 1 times 4 is 4. Now here's the beautiful part. What did I say 2 cubed was? Well, that's 8, and 1 cubed is 1, so it's 1/8. If you don't know how I get that, you got to come over and ask questions right now. 1/8 times 256 is 32. A to the 6 is the only thing I have for A. And then B, I have 6 and a 4, so 6 plus 4 is 10. That's a lot of work. 10 and 9 are 2 to challenge you, so you can see how I would do it, plus know for the future that you can do the easier ones on the quizzes and stuff. Just being able to keep everything straight is going to be the most difficult. So let's recap here. This one, I'm going to find area. Area, remember, is length times width for a rectangle. But this is a square, so it's really equal to side times side, because in a square, the side lengths are the same. In other words, you have 4AB times 4AB, which is a beautiful problem, because now we get to multiply a monomial. 4 times 4 is 16. A to the first and a to the first. That's going to be a squared, 1 plus 1, and then we'd have b squared. Alright, that's it. They don't have any units for us, so we'll just keep going to the next one. This last one, area of a triangle. Good thing I'm a geometry teacher too, so I can teach you guys this. 1/2 base times height. I'll give it to you. Area equals 1/2. The base I would consider is 3a to the 4th times b, and then the height would be 4ab to the 5th. What I have here is area equals 4 times 3 is 12 times 1/2, or 12 divided by 2 is 6. So I can cross these off. A to the 4th and a to the 1st. Well, I only write a once. 4 plus 1 is 5. And then b to the 1st plus b to the 5th is 6. And that's units because they didn't give me any label. I went pretty fast through that. If you need more help with this, come ask. Don't be afraid. This is right before a quiz too. So this is on your quiz. That's next. So if you can't get practice 3 on your own, you're going to have to come ask me. Make sure you're continuing to show me your notes videos. And then I probably have the practice with me. So you're going to have to come and ask nicely. Remember, I do accept all form of bribes. Have a nice day.